Welcome back. England against Slovenia preview. Oh, right. England's final group game. 1-0 victory against Serbia. Bowfest 1-1 draw against Denmark. Southgate is under pressure, I think, after not just the performance. The performance alone should have put him under pressure because it was dog poo. But what he came out with after the game should put him under pressure. How do you come out? People talk about losing the dressing room, right? How do you not lose the dressing room when you're sitting there going, we just can't replace Calvin Phillips? Oh my God. Like, one of the maddest things I think I've ever seen a football manager say in a press conference. On top of that, it was, let me find this one. We've been trying to find a solution in midfield for 7 or 8 years. This guy's earned £40 million as England manager and hasn't been able, with a real generational crop of midfielders, is like, just without Calvin Phillips, I don't know what we can do in midfield. Let's try Trent there. Honestly, he's the highest paid international manager in the world, and he genuinely doesn't know how to set up a team. Yeah, it's going to be fun when England hit the knockouts, isn't it? Yeah, it will be. So, Slovenia then, have they got any chance of being party poopers here? They've got a decent-ish side, but I think they're under no illusions what they need to do to compete. And manager Keck has come out and said, being competitive is what interests us. We are not among the favourites, which suits me just fine. There are a lot of people who seem to smile when they got Slovenia in a group. That they may come to regret that. Their entire play style is about being a team. He's a bit of a pragmatic coach. Likes to sort of sit on the back foot, spring out and go long. They'll keep working hard. They're going to constantly attempt to stay in it. They'll start off in a 4-4-2. They've got Jan Oblak in net, even though didn't look great the other night, must be said. And they're going to have a pretty rigid defence in front of him. Now, another big player for them in the squad is probably going to be up-and-comer Benjamin Sesko, who's been in the news a little bit lately. Lethal striker, can be creative, and can be dangerous if you get him to the ball in the right area. They are going to rely on long balls up to the striker, and they're desperately going to try and win second balls. Any sort of rare attempt that's going to see them building play up. It'll be a 2-4 or a 4-2 kind of shape. They'll knock the ball side to side, sort of trying to get someone to press into you. But if you've seen England's press, it's not even hard to deal with because they're not doing it as a team. So they might be fine playing out. I would expect them to low block and be very, very direct, just hitting Sesko at every single opportunity. And their only real advantage that they'll have over England, I would think, is set plays. That's a big focus in their play. And if they get opportunities on set pieces, they're going to try and take them. And that's a big threat that England should be anticipating going into this game. Besides Sesko and Oblak, there's a big drop-off in the talent and the quality that Slovenia have got. But you can't underestimate the desire. And if England go into it without, a level of understanding they're going to be in a fight, they could balls it up. I think from the position that they're in, they're all but qualified. I think as long as they avoid defeat, they'll end up going through somehow. But a star man will be Benjamin Sesko. It's as clear as day that he is their only real threat. RB Leipzig star man in a bit of a rich vein of form. Post January 27th, he scored 11 goals in 13 starts. He is the undisputed figurehead of Slovenia's offence, and rightly so. Right then, if you want to enhance your Euro 2024 experience, then we've got £40 in free bets to use on the tournament from our friends at Parry Match. They're offering new customers £40 in free bets when you bet your first £10 with them. Claiming the offer is simple. All you got to do is create a Parimatch UK account, opt into the promotion and place £10 bet on any sports market with odds of even or above. And remember, you must be over 18, must be a UK resident. Full terms and conditions do apply. All the information that you need will be in the link below. Thanks to Parimatch again for sponsoring the videos for this tournament. England lineup. Oh, again, my lineup, or what's Gareth Southgate going to do? Gareth Southgate probably played the exact same 11. Absolute fucking widge. What would a competent manager do? Well, a competent manager would define a system. Are we playing out or are we going long? Are we pressing or are we sitting in? Are we playing on the counter? Does that mean if you want to play on the counter, you need to have runners? And England sort of go that goal up and then sit off with no runners. It's bonkers. That being said, what's the lineup? I would make the case for England to move to a back three, but it's not going to be necessary. This, what I'm going to suggest is lopsided, and I think they'll be fine doing it. Now, this is going to look weird on paper, but in the reality of how this would operate, I think it would be fine. And you got to remember, what England are going to be dealing with is one long kick up to Benjamin Sesko. So how would I line this up? It would be Gay at left back, Stones left side centre half, Walker right side centre half, and Trippier at right back. Now, as a 4, looks nuts. Wait until you see what it looks like, because this should line up as a 3-2-5 as it moves forward. So even though Mark Gay, left back, you're going, left back, he's not a left back. I'm not even going to attempt to ask him to go over the halfway line. He's going to be the left of a back 3. So we have Mark Gay in there for trying to go physical against Sesko. We have John Stones in there for helping us play out. And we have Kyle Walker in there for his pace. And that is a back 3. That is our back line. As soon as, we will line up as a 4-2-3-1, but as soon as we get on the ball, which you would expect England to have so much of the ball and then move into the Slovenia half, this will be a back 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to push Trippier right up. I think Trippier's a better option at this than Trent, to be honest with you. Push Trippier right up into the role that he occupies for Newcastle, which is essentially a right winger. We're going to push Saka inside a little bit because I like Saka's link play. He's not a traditional winger that's going to look to run off the shoulder and look to dribble at people, but he is a bit of a playmaker. So we move him into the half space inside channel. We're going to play 2 defensive-minded midfielders, which people totally misunderstand what this is about. This is about rotating possession. So Kobe Mainoo and Declan Rice as the 2 in front of the back 3. And then from left, I'm going to go Gordon or Bowen, not overly asked which. I'm going to go Bellingham and Kane. And then with Saka and Trippier, that is our 5. You're going to see players that want to come and drop off into the half space. This shouldn't be a flat forward 5. This should be like a W sort of shape where you're seeing people drop off. Playing Bellingham as the 10 in this means that when Kane drops off, he shouldn't make the opposite run. Foden doesn't make the opposite run, and he doesn't have the physicality to receive the ball in what would be a congested box area and get a shot off. He operates far better when there's rotations and little reverse passes and stuff like that. And England aren't going to do that. We use Trippier. What I'm doing is trying to create a team that has a purpose and an identity. So if I said to you, I'm going to play Foden in the 10 in this one, which is something that a lot of people want to do. Well, what is the point in us having Trippier providing crosses? I've thought about what I'm trying to do here. And what I'm trying to do is have a team that has a purpose to it. And every single person's position within that has been considered. So Declan Rice and Kobe Mainoo, right? You probably could get away with just having the 1 here. But they're not filling a defensive role. They're filling a keep hold of the ball role. So you have Mainoo operating the right-hand side, Rice operating the left-hand side. When you hit a blind alley, so you've had Saka and Trippier sort of trying to attack down the right-hand side, and it hasn't worked because that's going to happen 40, 50 times in the game. You're not going to get a shot off every single possession that you have. You recycle possession, you come back into midfield, you switch it across and you go up the left-hand side. So that should be a pass from Trippier or Saka back to Mainu across to Rice. Rice, hopefully with a little bit of oomph on it, put it into the feet of a Gordon or a Bowen, someone who's going to try and dribble and run at them and try and make somebody commit. As they're trying to make somebody commit, and then we're different. We're asymmetrical in terms of our attacks. We're not just going to have one person on the left spamming crosses in and one person on the right spamming crosses in. We're going to spam crosses in from the right and we're going to run it from the left. We're going to give it a little bit of difference so they're not constantly marking the same sort of players doing the same sort of things. You're going to ask questions of the Slovenia defence and ask them to do different things with different players. You know, when Kane drops off into the spaces, Bellingham pushes on and becomes the 9. He's got the physical stature to be able to do it and the finishing. And we've seen him doing this for Real Madrid. So you're not asking him to do something that he doesn't normally do. Saka, like I said, operates with the likes of Ben White coming past him and putting crosses and stuff like that in from the wide space. So this isn't asking anybody to do anything other than what they do. Declan Rice with Arsenal builds up in a 3-2 system. You know, the centre-halves are all used to playing that game that I'm going to ask them to play. So very important that it's a 3-2-5 structure, a bit of a W in the final third. And that's what we're hoping to see England pull out. Match winner for this. I think it would be Bellingham. Because I think Kane dropping off into that space, Bellingham timing his run correctly is going to get on the end of a cross from Trippier. If it's the team I pick, but guess what? Fucking won't be, will it? Look, can I just say, I just want to put it out on record because I don't think I've spoke about this because I've been too focused on other stuff with Gareth Southgate. Can I just say, I think having Trippier, whose main asset is the wand of a right foot that he's got, playing left back, it's not like if you was playing Wan-Bissaka for the simple fact of, look, he's going to defend and he's going to do X, Y, and Z. You might as well be playing Wan-Bissaka because he's infinitely better as a defensive fullback than Trippier. But Trippier's excellent with the ball. You know, he can do a bit of a job defensively, but he's not going to do that 1v1 defending. That's not his game. And then you play him left back. You take away the only fucking asset he's got, which is that wand of a right foot. It's stupid. Like it's just stupid management because there's so many things that are contradictory to the way he picks these teams. Got no fucking clue, man. It's embarrassing, genuinely. So, how do they beat this? Well, everyone does their jobs, for starters. Slovenia should roll over by themselves, but they will work hard. There's got to be balance. Have some bollocks about you, and you'll probably get the job done. There's no point me saying this because he's going to probably pick the same 11. I think he probably doesn't pick Trent. Do you know what? I think he picks the exact same team, but it's Gallagher for Trent. How'd you beat them? Just fucking turn up and play at least a 5 out of 10 and you beat them. Keep Sesko quiet. That's how you beat them. Could be well on the cards for a 0-0 here. Or it could be like England get a goal. Genuinely, I think England probably win this 1-0. They get a goal and then they just fucking snooze fest. Fuck me, I'm glad I'm not going to this one. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.